Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a 39-degree Thursday, the 18th of December. It's 42 degrees at the moment. I think it's only supposed to get to about 50 maybe. There's old Magoo roaming out. Anyway, I'm sitting over the awning of the shop here. It's about the only dry place. Hasn't been super heavy rain, but nothing's flooding. Of course, the river's flooding because they're still releasing that dam, trying to preserve the flood pool, but which is Mayfield Lake at the moment. Anyway, we're rushing off down to the Southland. Wish us luck in this horrible winter weather. 45 degrees and absolutely horrid. What is it? With every morning we got a siren in the...
I know.
It's just a morning thing.
Yeah.
But actually, it just goes on all day long. You hear them, especially going up and down SR 500 back there.
Big city.
Yeah, big city life. Police everywhere and just big city life.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in Portland for 12 years. We know all about it.
Oh, yeah.
We lived in a quiet neighborhood and you still weren't 100% exempt.
No.
Crazy stuff would literally happen around us, every once in a while. But we're young back then. That was all exciting. Wow.
Yeah, I know it. That was crazy.
Look,
stuff.
the police are out there. Kelly
What are they
dragging
doing?
a lady out of a, what was it? One of those old SUVs, the Dodge thing.
Yeah.
She's upside down in the middle of the intersection we lived on.
Yeah.
Kelly's out there, dragging her out of her car. She's hanging upside down for her seatbelts.
Yeah.
Kids in the back
She
screaming.
was safe. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All was good, but
Yeah, she was good to get out. She just couldn't get the buckle undone.
But anyway, it's funny now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was
Mama,
crazy then.
let's roll.
All right. You have a good day.
Get wet to go in and try to dry off.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Love
right.
you. See you. Bye.
Love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen today. I haven't gone upstairs to even see what my schedule looks like. I figured I'd talk to you a little earlier in the morning instead of at the end of the day today. Man, I can't wait to be able to talk to you guys about what's going on with the old Hogan Dogan. Man, I told Kelly, I said, do you have any good dreams about about what's going to happen next year with Harley? And she goes, well, no, but it was the first thing on my mind because I was thinking about it the whole time I'm sitting there, doing her little Facebooking and craft stuff she does on her laptop in the mornings. Sits out there all in peace. But the kids, because of no car, they have to ride the bus, so they're up way earlier, which I gotta say, how much things have changed in a year's time. When we first got them into school, it's probably quite a bit of trauma to them to, lose their house and now having to go to a new school. But like most people, if you've ever had the chance, you move away from, not that Longview, Kelso is a big city, but it's, I don't know how many times bigger. It's a lot. There's like 700 people in Toledo, and there's close to 80,000. Maybe it's more than that now in the Longview, Kelso area. Big difference. First thing you notice is everything slows down, and people are friendly and cordial in the classroom. The teachers have time to, work with the students. The difference in those kids in a year's time is shocking. It was like pulling nails to get them out into school. Christy was literally late dropping them off every single morning. And at the start of this year, they were ready to go. They were more than ready to go. I don't even remember being a kid and being ready to go to school. I'd rather go goof off on my motorcycle and build models and, do the kid stuff I did, Anyway, but yeah, they're ready to roll. And, it's wild. And now they're having to get up way early. You couldn't get them up. Hold on, I got an interruption here. Not sure where I was at. It's pouring, absolutely pouring out there now. the rain has changed. I think I was talking about the kids, and I should probably go back and see what I had already talked about. But basically, the gist of what I was saying is the kids really enjoy going to school because it's much more personal. It's more one-on-one. And I mean, they are up and ready to go every morning. They have to leave super early because of where we're at. They got a ways. They're not the first pickup or the last drop off or however that goes, but they got to be there early and they get out late. So get off late. But anyway, they don't care. Getting last year, to start with until they started getting friends and realizing this is not some scary new place. This is a very fun, comfortable place. Then they got used to it and were ready to go into school. Now they absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. They're hustling their mom. Come on, Mom, we're going to miss the bus. Oh, the switch came in for this thing, so I can start busting that thing out. This weather, I don't think they're in too big of a rush, but I got stuff to do. I do need to finish that BRP training because there's an email that came across yesterday, even though I was at home. That poor floor checker guy out there, he was upstairs early. I said, "You don't have to check things that are outside, do you?" He goes, "Oh yeah. Look, his umbrella's all busted up." Oh man, what a day that would be. But he's got a rain suit on, or a rain jacket. Anyway, let me do something, make it look like I'm earning my keep here today. Get that switch, and the advisor never answered me. Are we doing the brakes or what? I don't know. I know the switch needs to be done. That's being covered by warranty. I'm trying to think. The last time I've done one of these, I almost think I can do it without taking the headset off or the fairing. But at some point, it's almost other than the way the radio and stuff connects to these things is really weird. If you can get that switch in, because it'll comes through, goes through all the the old standard stuff through the bar, and it comes down and ties in over here. I think you get most of that stuff without taking the headset off. Taking those things off on these newer ones are a little more involved because he's got remember the BRP Go stuff. I don't think BRP goes on anything anymore. Everything's gone to the newer stuff. I think it is on some of the small things, like the scaled down snowmobile dashes. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I know almost everything has those great big 10.25 screens on there that's got Apple CarPlay and all that cool stuff in there. But anyway, we'll figure it out. These are the ones that go through that. Well, you can't see it because all the plastic stuff there. You have to de-pin these things and re-pin it on the other side. You got to de-pin the one you're taking out, and then de-pin, put it in, and re-pin the new one. It's not that bad. You pop this little purple color cover out, and there's a special tool that reaches in there and releases them. But what you do is you take some very careful pictures of them on both sides, so you know what's what, and just plug them back in. You'll see the ones that are dummy holes have a little green cap in them where they're not being used. It just makes them waterproof. Highly water resistant. They're not waterproof. You blast this thing with a pressure washer and you get into one of these things. The nice thing is people use the soap at the pressure washers, and it injects in things with the soap and rots them. Absolutely eats everything because there's no way for it to air out. And it's just bad news. Wheel bearings, electrical stuff. Pressure washers and motorcycles are a horrible thing. I can show you where that reverse switch thing is in here. Let me pop this, the cap off of here, and I'll show you how that thing's encapsulated. And it's a non-serviceable part. See, all the important electronics are all just molded in to that stuff. And the switch itself, kind of mechanical in a way that it's simply it's spring loaded so that it pops back into its neutral position. You can see it's hitting a ball bearing with a spring on it, and that clicks it back, makes it go back and forth. What it's doing, it's pushing one of these soft pads. Remember I tell you guys, it's like if you ever take a modern calculator apart, if there's even such thing as a calculator anymore, there's no like physical button. It's physical in that it goes down and touches a board, but it's not like anything mechanical. It's that it almost looks like like lead out of a pencil lead, and it just simply reaches down and touches that board, and it tells the LIN bus that you've touched that, and then the LIN bus communicates with the CAN bus, and it goes from there. Well, underneath this thing here has the same kind of buttons underneath this little bracket. Get here where it focuses, and you can see the strip that's coming off, and that strip is just like the board that's underneath that. When this comes down and touches, it sees that it touched. And you can take this apart, but there's nothing to clean, there's nothing to lube. It's just in this gel stuff that you can't do anything with. So you'd have to replace that strip. Well, needless to say, you can't do that. It's just, there's nothing serviceable in there. So what you do, you just make sure that you use the computer basically, and the computer tells you there's no circuit. But these things were known. It was mainly 2019, like I said, but I never did look at the VIN, see when this thing was created. But I bet you it's a late 18, because it was the 19s we had the problems with. And I say that the problems with is, like I say, it was probably 3, maybe 4 of them. But it's enough that, it sticks out. And I'd probably make that sound like it's a bigger issue than what you think. But I've had other people with mainly 2019s that have had the same thing. Just the back button just stops functioning, the negative button as opposed to the positive button. It just doesn't work. And I've literally taken these things apart, and I can take this one apart too to show you. It's just, you can see the little white thing down in there, and it's the same thing as this. And you can't take this apart. There's nothing to, if you did take it apart, it's like how that little carbon little piece is stuck in the little soft button. If you take the calculator apart, it just pulls out, and it's just rubber. And there's these little charcoal buttons that are in there. And if you stick an ohm meter across in there, what's crazy, there's no resistance. So I don't know how, just the little metal strips, it's like these little strips like you can see in here. It's kind of like that, but they have weird shapes to it. And it just realizes that it's been touched if you dig down in here deep enough. It's weird. That's how they work. Absolutely crazy how it's downpouring out there. So here's the coupler I was showing you earlier, and you can scoot it around the back side of this air box and push it through. Let me turn a light on here. So that'll come out. It scoots across and pops out on the left hand side of the bike. There's the coupler, or I mean the wiring. Well, that coupler has to go through this. You can pretty much get it to go through that. It's a fight. There's a hole in the frame, and there's a boot at the top to try to keep debris and stuff out. But it runs up and comes through this lower piece and into the switch assembly. Well, you can't get that coupler to fit through here. Plus, it's a pain in the butt to get it to go through that boot right there. But seeing that you got to take it apart anyway, I don't even try to fight it through that boot. It'll just slide right through. Then I have to unbolt the handlebar because the heated grip goes through you think it's going through the middle of the bar. It actually rides in that rut. And this doesn't, like the Harleys will unclip and you can take them off. These have to slide off the bar, and it has a guiding pin there. You can see it's got a little bit of a notch. You can see the micro encapsulated Loctite that locks the switch down, and you got one bolt that's slight. Actually, it doesn't look any difference, but it used to be one. It used to be longer. That's what that app tray button. That's all it's doing. It's pushing that one thing. But like this, I mean, you look at it. It's beautiful. It's clean. Everything looks perfect. It's something inside there. So by the time it goes through the LIN bus controller and heads down here, there's a communication loss. LIN bus is the CAN bus helper. We at BMW, they jokingly called it the Morse code of CAN bus, because it's not instantly reactive. It's like dot type of thing. It reacts, it creates resistance, and goes through the CAN bus controller, turns that into a CAN bus signal, and sends it to the ECM, and it does whatever action you're hitting. In this case, that would be going to the TCM, the transmission control module. Cool. This is the ECM on this side, and the TCM resides right over here. And they always have the green connectors, because these things are literally identical to each other. If you plug them into the wrong one, you got problems. So I always take pictures of the new one, because they're cleaner. I could take pictures, that's clean enough. Oh, and you got to make sure you take your lock. This is the thing that locks it once you click it into place, and it doesn't allow it for the release button to be pushed. And anyway, I got to take them out of both sides, so it doesn't hurt to make sure, because sometimes they switch manufacturers and the color codes can be different, so that can get you too. But anyway, I'll unpin it, and I just kind of wrap them up in tape and slide the old one out, and then depin this one, wrap it up in tape, and swap, pull the bar off, these 4 bolts, hold it on. It's like a handlebar pinch bolt kind of thing. It is a handlebar, but this is the only thing that's holding it to this boss, are these 4 bolts. And pull them out. I don't have to take the grip off or anything, because I'm just going to slide this once I get this out, because there's the end of the bar right there. Once I get this out, it'll just slide off, and I'll run the center of this down the grip warmer. And there's a clip that's on that grip warmer. Before you start pulling that thing through, unclip that clip from this coupler, because I promise you, with that, it clicks on the other side. That will get stuck in there, and it'll get stuck somewhere where you can't see it. You'll be taking the fairing off of this thing. This is the front one is usually the left one. It can be different ways, but generally it is. But see, that goes through and it clips into that hole. It's just one of those little tabs that goes boom, and it goes through the hole. That's it. So just take the eye sockets out. There's the right one. There's all the left stuff over there. Plus there's more. I got the center cowling, all that stuff sitting over there too. But anyway, it's not that big of a deal. It pays enough time to do it. It's actually not a bad job. There was a time there's a recall on these switches because of the bar was missing that locating pin, and the switches would turn if you ever had some of the old ones. I think that ended was that in the early years of these? I think that was back in the twin days. But anyway, they paid, I think it was 0.3 to replace that. Yeah. Not even close. So I cried about that thing. And at the end of every, their PDF, but all the, no, they're PDF. I don't think I've ever seen a paperback version of the flat rate manual. But you get to the bottom, there's a page you can print and send it with a case file or a warranty claim requesting a warranty time change. Well, it took, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe longer. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, they adjusted the thing 1/10 shy of what I suggested, which is very cool. That recall where that got really bad is they wanted the whole switch assembly changed. It'd be easy if you just changed the cover and you got a cover with a little notch in it, which they didn't have at all. If you look at older ones, that haven't been done, this is just flush. So the bar got changed in that rear cover. For whatever reason, they changed it, and it was the cover wouldn't fit the new switches. They wanted the whole switch assembly changed, but what they were paying still was for replacing this. And, you know, I'm sure me and many other dealers probably cried and says, dude, you're making us do the whole switch and all this has got to come apart and you're paying 18 minutes? That's not going to work. Like, not even close. But it was not that big. You still had to, if it had heated grips, which most limiteds had, so you still had to get all this out, unwire this, and for the cover you didn't have to, but for the handlebar. So you had to take, in this case, I don't have to take the handlebar or the grip off. I leave everything there, and I won't take the heated grip wire out of the groove. All that'll just stay right where it's at. And just pull it out, because this comes all the way off just like a top clamp on a regular motorcycle handlebar. But anyway, you might think that's interesting for whatever it's worth. I guess I can turn the light off now that it's not. Can you tell the difference? But when I stick my head in that hole, there's a difference. There ain't no light up there. Alrighty. Well, hello there, YouTube. We didn't do the goodbye out in the car because FedEx truck pulled in right behind me and literally their headlights go right through the back window and just blinded us.
Yeah.
Christy had something coming. But, man,
that was sketchy.
There was no wear on the tires coming home because they floated on top of the water more than they touched the road.
Yes.
Wow, that was the worst. This is the last half of 2025. I don't think we've had a day that bad.
No, that was sketcy.
We went across town there and, well, not too far, just down the road a bit from Pro Caliber to the Fred Meyer's, and did some little bit of Christmas shopping there. And it was pouring. We pulled in the parking lot. It just never stopped.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's just a light little sprinkle here.
Yeah.
It was absolutely just
yeah.
Everybody. And at one point past Woodland, before you hit the super curves and go up and over to Kalama, Waze goes, well, water or pooled water reported ahead, or flooding waters reported ahead. And as soon as she says that, I just see just a wake coming off of this Honda Accord that's in front of us, and everybody's like, bam, on the brakes, and like, no, don't slam on your brakes.
No.
But we all got woed up. Man, it must have been 6 inches of water going across that freeway.
Yeah.
Wow, that was nuts. And then, you know, the summertime, it's all blacktop. It starts to sink, where the trucks and stuff go along. So you got these ruts. You got to have to ride just slightly, to
one side or the other.
Yeah, to the right or left of the tire tracks, or you're just absolutely floating. I mean, there's just times we're just, and then grabbing back. It's crazy.
Yeah, nutsy.
Yeah, so much for a nicer day today than yesterday.
Yeah,
like
fibber.
Yeah, like a third the amount of rain was supposed to be today. I think it was easily twice as much. The backyard's flooded, the anti-ruts up to the sidewalk.
Yeah, gotta stay on the sidewalk. Don't walk in the grass, because that's underwater.
Christy comes out to get her FedEx thing, went trucking right across the grass, and it's like 4 inches of water floating out there. But hopefully, again, tomorrow's supposed to be better than today, but I hope, like 0.3 of an inch of rain is what they're saying for tomorrow.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, it was 0.85 for today. I think it was 0.85 within the first 10 minutes of leaving work.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, water just floating everywhere. It's just rivers everywhere. you can only predict
Yeah.
what's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
It just happens.
They do the best they can.
Yeah. There's no, you can't play. I love the guys. Weather guys don't know what they're doing.
No.
Those are really smart people.
Yeah.
You can only predict using, you know, whatever tools they have before them.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to do. Doesn't mean that's what it's gonna do.
So we're having our little Christmas, like little lunching party thing
At work tomorrow.
at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. I took my hat off and I got hat hair.
It's
I
all
already
right.
done. Took my hat off and I was ready to call it a night.
I know it.
But-
Get no nuggle time.
Yeah. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. And
Yes.
we're going to roll with that.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. You guys have an amazing bright here Saturday.
Thank you. All right. We'll see you in the morning.
We will.
Hopefully the weather's better.
Yes.
Bye-bye now.